Kia ora everyone. Welcome to this relaxing session with maps. And today I will be talking about Fiji, as I've just returned from Fiji and I thought it will be a good video to introduce you to this island while it is still fresh in my memory. So let's get started. I want to show you first the location of Fiji in a larger scale map, and in my previous video I already showed you that this dot was actually Rarotonga and Fiji is just right here. And I explained to you that there is a line that separates two worlds, and here starts the day and goes like this and finishes here. So you can see that Fiji are actually on this side of the line together with New Zealand, which means that Fiji has the same time as we have here in New Zealand and the same day, which was very suitable. And in relation to Australia as well, you can see that they are somewhere here, maybe Cairns, maybe somewhere here, but yeah, a little bit closer to the equator than we've ever been in Australia. Alright, so to talk about Fiji, I prepared a different map that has a larger scale, so you can see it a little bit better. But I couldn't make it any bigger because of all of the islands that are part of this country. And here you can see there are two larger islands, and most of the time tourists are arriving to Nadi, or Nandi as they say, and it is a city with international airport just right here. So Fiji is a bigger island in the group of the islands, and it is quite large compared to some of the other islands in here and in the Pacifics. When you arrive to Nadi, you will have choices where to travel next. And many people stay around, and there are different hotels just in this area, but especially there is a little island that is connected to the mainland that is called Denarau. And Denarau is a half man-made island that was designed to provide the best experience for tourists. They have like a little village in itself. They have supermarket and a lot of very good quality cafes and expensive hotels. And the capital of Fiji is Suva, and it is located on the opposite side of the island. And when you arrive to Nandi, you have the opportunity to fly to Suva. You can fly to Suva and stay there. It is not a touristic town. It is a larger city with some big buildings and quite chaotic, I'd say, traffic. I think it is quite difficult for tourists to get around, but obviously locals are very well in doing so. I wanted to mention that this part where I haven't been actually, this upper part just right here, is apparently very good for diving, but this time we didn't really have the desire to go as far because we only had about 6 full days for the entire island, and we also wanted to visit some remote islands as well. Some people travel quite far to Yasawa Islands, and the boat trip can take quite a while, maybe 4 hours, and then you can actually stay on those islands or even have a cruise to go from one island to another island to another and to another. I don't really know much about this bigger island here. I'm not sure how touristic it is, and I don't really know what are the activities that are available here. However, we traveled around this side of main island and know quite a lot of different features that describe that area. The best time to go to Fiji if you are a tourist who want to swim and have fun on the island is Fijian winter. And Fijian winter, same as New Zealand winter, is June, July and August. These 3 months are winter in Fiji, and this is the best time to go to Fiji. You can also go to Fiji in May or September. It's supposed to be still better weather. Why can't you go to Fiji in summer? Well, Fijian summer is December, January and February, and on this island it is very warm. The temperature goes 30 and more degrees. The sea is very warm as well. Everywhere is very warm and hot. However, summer is a rainy season for Fiji and many other Pacific islands, which means that it will be raining every day and quite a lot. So although it is hot and the sea is warm, it is not a good time to visit Fiji because you won't be able to travel around and nicely swim in the ocean. Of course, it is nice to swim in the ocean when it's raining, but you also need to consider the fact that during rains, all those rivers, they bring some particles, sediments into the water, and the water becomes very muddy, which means that if you want to snorkel or dive, you won't be able to see much because of the very poor visibility. Although, if you go to remote islands, that may be different because smaller islands don't have rivers and you may be able to get around with that. Well, summer is the better time to visit Fiji, but it doesn't mean that it won't rain. So Fiji has different mountains and mountain ranges, which means that the clouds are being stopped at the ranges and they are not moving, they are not passing through, they're just stopping and they create rain and some adverse weather on Fiji. However, in some areas of the small island, weather will be better than in others. Imagine that while we were on Fiji and we were somewhere in this area that is called Coral Coast, and obviously the name speaks for itself, right? There is a coral reef here and you can snorkel with corals and beautiful tropical fish. So here in this part, maybe even like so, this part of the island will be drier and warmer than this part of the island. As I said, when we were here on Coral Coast, the weather was quite windy and rainy. Although we were there, they call it a tail of the season, so meaning that it's still a season but it's the end of the season. So we were there in September, and here on Coral Coast and in Suva and all of those places it was very windy and very wet. The rain was maybe every day and several times a day. It wasn't just a small rain, it poured and for a long time as well. So luckily we had a car so we could move around the island, and we checked the weather and we went to the places where the weather was better. Which means that from here, from Coral Coast where we were, we had to travel to Nandi and surroundings to get some sunshine. We traveled once to Suva to go to the national park. This national park is somewhere here. You don't actually need to travel to the city itself. So if you are not comfortable with driving in a very busy Asian manner, you don't have to go there. You can just go up the opposite side and there is a national park. Unfortunately, compared to New Zealand national parks, they are not very well maintained. The tracks are not marked and there is quite a lot of rubbish and invasive species in that park. We didn't really see much, and this is not what we expected. But I guess you're getting used to New Zealand life, and you know that you go to a national park and they will be clean, well maintained, tracks will be marked, and you will be just walking without thinking how you're going to come back. In Fiji, the park is not that lucky. And that's why we went there, spent there maybe an hour, and that was it. There were not many tracks in that park, and even those that were there, they were quite dodgy and not safe. And this was just one time when we traveled to Suva, and of course it rained. However, we have some sunshine as well. All other times we traveled this way to get better weather. We also went to those little islands here and stayed for one day on one of those islands, snorkeling around, and that was a very, very amazing experience. I've never seen anything like that. Those corals were so healthy. They were so beautiful, so colorful, and different shapes and forms. It was incredible. So I won't recommend the Coral Coast because this part is tidal, it's very shallow, and the coral reef is average. But if you go to the islands, you will be able to see some very amazing and unforgettable things. So unfortunately I didn't buy any souvenirs from my trip to Fiji. So the thing is that although Fiji is the Pacific island, there are a lot of Indians on Fiji, and people live biculturally. So there are Indian people bringing their culture, and obviously Pacifica people who had their culture, they try to maintain their culture there. And Suva, I would say, is more Asian, and some of the smaller places, they are more Polynesian. If you want to experience the Polynesian culture, you probably need to just travel a little bit and see it in your own eyes. I brought some stuff from the hotel that I can show you. However, it's nothing fancy. I will just show you some of the things and you will see it on yourself. I just have this bag where I store some of my little small bottles from the hotels, and this time I brought just a little bit from the hotel where we stayed. And some of those items are quite simple, like body balm, pina colada, organic coconut oil, pineapple extract. Proudly made in Fiji. Infused with nutrient-rich organic coconut oil, the soothing body balm is packed with hydrating agents and smoother, softer skin. And you see that there are beautiful flowers and pineapple, and of course some other fruits. This was in our hotel. There were some similar bottles with conditioner. And what it says about it, that's actually soothing conditioner, works to detangle, smooth and enhance shine. Again, because of coconut oil, it brings the hydration back to the hair. And the third one was shampoo with conditioning, also called Pina Colada. But there is one more item that I think you will like because it will sound very pleasant. Or actually two. One of them is a simple soap, but I really like those crisps and body soap, organic coconut oil and pineapple extract. And the last one is, I really like when they do this, is a shower cap. Actually, I took this one because I know my mom uses shower caps. And as you know, she's coming in November, so I think it will be a really good item for her to use. But let's take it out and hear the crinkles. And you see that inside it has this beautiful design repeated, which is so nice. It's a detail that matters. This is it, a nice crinkly shower cap, and I will read to you about it. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you've already seen my pictures, so you know what I'm talking about. Proudly made from 100% recycled, oxygen-bleached cartoon board. Please recycle after use. And of course, this is about this box, not about the plastic cap. There's nothing about plastic cap in here. Just says shower cap, pina colada collection for your personal use. So here you go. I will put that on the map of Fiji, as this is a product of Fiji. So we will see our cap and our soap, and also the bottles that I brought back home from the hotel. Here you are. I'm really grateful for your time, and I really hope that it was relaxing and that you now can safely fall asleep.